When you start looking through the Rolex Datejust market and you're looking at the classically sized 36 millimeters, you're going to see a lot of 16014, which you'll see on the right, and 16233, the two-tone model on the left. I feel that they both offer different things. One, some more vintage charm, while the other has a more robust movement and a few upgrades. And I just wanted to run through, kind of poke through some of the differences with them so that you guys have a better understanding of what you're getting into when you start looking for your Datejust.
So when I think Rolex, I think 16014. The design is so classic. It's perfectly suited for a t-shirt and jeans, as well as a suit, a strap, or the classic Jubilee bracelet. It's also kind of a transitional model. We had moved into the 30-35 movement, which was the first on the market to offer a quick set date. This means no longer having to run through all of your indexes to set your date wheel. Simply unscrew, pull to the first position, set it, and you're good to go. This 27 joule, 42-hour power reserve movement was also featured in the Submariners and Sea Dwellers of the time, and is a very trusted and well-performing movement. This particular one still operating within its factory specifications. It also had an acrylic crystal, which sits very proud of this 18 karat white gold bezel. And something I feel gets overlooked quite a bit is the tactile feel. It's warmed at the touch. I like sapphire for its scratch resistance, but it carries this hard, cold feel over directly from the steel. And this just has a little bit more charm, a little bit more elegance, and feels a little bit more vintage. Also helping with that aesthetic, you'll notice on the dial behind the stick markers we have tritium plots. That's what the two T's on the opposite sides of Swiss made at the bottom of the dial represents. And you'll notice they've already turned this beautiful custard color along with the hands. While they've lost their luminescence, they offer this great burst of amber coloring as the sunlight fills up the dial and gives you much more vintage feel than you would ever expect for a 30-year-old watch. If you're afraid of this 36 millimeter sizing, make sure you get in somewhere and try one of these on, especially on the Jubilee bracelet, the 20 millimeter lugs, the thickness with that very, very pronounced acrylic crystal gives it an awfully chunky feel. And while the 16233 offers many upgrades, it does lack some of that initial charm. But let's hop over and have a look so we can kind of compare and contrast.
So looking at the 16233, stylistically there's obviously a lot of differences. This has a gold Roman dial with gold indexes. Also being the two-tone model, you're looking at a yellow gold 18 karat bezel as opposed to the white. But you also get the 18 karat gold center links, whereas the 1601 is an all stainless steel bracelet. The two-tone Jubilee bracelet is one of the most charming ever produced. Incredibly comfortable, classically styled, and its only flaw really is in its gold. The 18 karat gold has softness to it, so over time the bracelet's going to stretch out. You'll either need to have it replaced or rebuilt to make sure that it's not getting too loose. The 1601 doesn't have this problem because it's all stainless steel, but the trade-off is that you don't quite get the same aesthetic that the two-tone produces and that wonderfully 80s and 90s vibe. The biggest changes or upgrades are in the movement with this watch. The case is the same 36 millimeters, although it is a little bit thinner at 11.9 due to an upgrade of having a sapphire crystal, where they moved away from the acrylic plexiglass in the previous generations. Just under 44 millimeter lug to lug, so an incredibly comfortable fit. But this was the year that they featured the 3135 movement. The jump to the 3135 movement meant a full balance bridge, a larger balance wheel, and a jump to 31 joules from the previous 27, creating less friction points in the movement. This added a 50-hour power reserve and saw some technological changes in that the hairspring on the balance cock was now laser welded into place, where on the previous 3035 it had been glued. If you're looking for the better watch, buy the 16233. The sapphire crystal will hold up better over time, as well as the 3135 movement, which is more robust in its build quality and offers a larger power reserve. If you tend to lean towards more of the vintage aesthetic, I urge you to check out a 16014. The 3035 movement, being the first introduced with quickset in 1977, is irreplaceable. The acrylic crystal sits tall and proud with a warm to the touch feel, and the tritium plots, just starting to patina, offer a great tone to the dial when in direct sunlight. I hope this video has helped you in deciding what Rolex Datejust is best for you, or at least been educational and fun to watch. Make sure you click subscribe to the channel, it helps us out a lot. Additionally, give us a thumbs up, and you can hit the bell icon to get notifications whenever we're putting out new content. Thank you for stopping by. See you next week.